Utah's most accurate forecast with Alana Brophy. Weather rates certified 11 years in a row.
All right, it's not just our rivers that are running high, our reservoirs are full as well.
Yes, they are. For the latest on the conditions, let's head over to Alana.
We're adding to those with some heavy rain for some of those storms that are out there. We saw a severe thunderstorm warning over Strawberry Reservoir this afternoon. We had whipping winds. Look at the water. Tells the story. And hail coming down. It was half-dollar-sized hail. So strong storms continue at this hour. And as we take a look at the storm tracker radar, you can see we draw that line. It's the northern half of the state. Let's jump down to the state line right south of Wendover. We've got some nasty cells with plenty of lightning. These are tracking northeast or east, so we know that they could move towards I-80 and eventually make it to Tooele County and along the Wasatch Front. We're going to see what happens here in the next little while. Bear Lake, Laketown, Randolph, all the way down to Causey Reservoir, backside of the Wasatch, staying very active with a line of storms strong. We're talking 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail. Check out Brigham City, Pleasant View, Tremont, and they're getting another round, jumping over to eastern Utah towards Duchesne, Roosevelt, and over towards the basin. Echoes of moisture there. Into Utah County, isolated activity now bubbling up, so it's an eyes to the skies type of evening with these slow-moving storms. Now, if we put a time on these storms as they hold together and make it towards the Wasatch Front at the end of this half hour, so near 5:30, moving into Tooele County. As we get closer to 5:45, that's the potential of these storms trekking into portions of the Wasatch Front. I hope you find your city there so you know what to expect. Why are we seeing these storms? Well, we've got two areas of low pressure to our west, and really this is just a stalled front. So this area of low pressure sends energy our way. It runs into that stalled front and we get storm development. We have all the ingredients there, including moisture potential, and then we get that daytime heating. Sun was out this morning. Southwesterly winds noticeable, but we know that those storms developed and now they're on the move. We saw towering convection. Live view from the ABC4 studios where we've got the sun back out, but you can see cloud cover out there, mid-70s, winds are whipping. Let's look at those wind gusts, 38 miles per hour in Salt Lake. These storms have the potential to put down between 40 and 50 mile per hour gusts. Quieter conditions on the eastern side of the state, southwesterly winds keeping things active in the West Desert. 70s in Salt Lake, 60s, 80 in Provo. You can play that game. Where are the storms just based on the numbers? Cache Valley, you're part of this, so's Wendover. 91 in St. George, mid-80s over in Moab right now, where we've got drier conditions down south. This is a view of the Logan River near Cutler Marsh. Thanks, Kurt Benjamin, for sending it our way. This spot overnight hitting the moderate flood stage, jumping here when it comes to those water levels. Heavy rain the last two nights on top of all that snow melt. Waters will recede as we make it towards Thursday and the close of the work week, but a flood warning in effect right now. Only for the Ogden River on the backside of the Wasatch, Logan River from Logan Canyon down to the city, Bear River and Sevier River. Watches holding for Plain City and near Paradise and below Hiram Reservoir. Advisories in effect for the Bear River, eastern side of the state, Dolores, Colorado, Green River, and the Duchesne River, where we're adding more rain in that area like we just saw on the radar. Futurecast shows us what to expect. Isolated activity out there through this evening, moving to the backside of the Wasatch as we get later into tonight. And then we lose the daytime heating, and that means the storms, they fizzle, but they come back for tomorrow with that daytime heating. Another round, the model picks up on it along the Wasatch Front with the general thunderstorm threat for a big portion of the Beehive State, and that extends as far south as Iron County. 70s and 80s for tomorrow. 80s, 70s, how about a 90 over in Moab? We'll match St. George because we've got the winds whipping and those drier conditions. Taking a look at the next 7 days in Washington County, you're going to be able to see that the warmth, it holds on. We do get a day in the upper 80s, but the winds will be the big talker in St. George through Saturday, Memorial Day. High 93, not bad. Here's a look at the Memorial Day weekend forecast. If you're making those plans, lots of 70s and 80s, but the Wasatch Front has a chance of some storms, especially as we roll into the holiday. Wasatch Front showing scattered activity on Friday, isolated for tomorrow, slighter chance Saturday and Sunday, and then on Memorial Day, we see those storms creeping back into the forecast as daytime highs stay in the 80s and active skies. Well, they just want to spend the holiday weekend here. We get it. Glenn, Emily, over to you.